won't give up till I'm on top.
Yo, no, I ain't the type to give up. If I do something, man, I do it till I get what I want. I turn a business out of nothing into something I love. I got a poker face, but honestly, I'm not one to bluff. I flip a switch, never miss, man, I always stay up. Don't let them see you, bitch, always have a plan to stay tough. This life ahead of you ain't easy, it was built to be rough. But that's what makes a personality, is tragedy, bruh. So keep your head on your shoulders. Now we ain't out here moving rocks, we out here moving boulders. Now we ain't getting posterized, we out here making posters. And we ain't got nothing to hide, we move forward like soldiers.
What up? What up? What up? Welcome in here to Pregaming on the Sports Money Network. Happy Thursday to everybody. February 12th. Hope everyone's had a great day so far. The last day of the NBA before they transition on to All-Star Weekend. They won't play again until next Thursday. We've got no NHL, but we had Olympic hockey. We'll talk about that for a few minutes. I got some plays for you guys tomorrow already tonight. And of course, we'll talk some college basketball. College basketball is going to be about the mainstay here for the next several days. Now, that doesn't mean we've got PGA in play. We've got some PGA plays out there already. The three spots there, the portfolio has been established with Kalshi. And the portfolio offering me an increase of 33% already. If we want to cash out today, everything got cashed out, I'd be up 33%. So, not a bad start here with the old Kalshi PGA program. We'll see how that works out here as time evolves. But we've got Olympic action this weekend. We've got Valentine's Day on Saturday. I was looking at this thing, man. I got myself all fired up. I'll tell you what. I got onto the old Twitter spot there, and I was scrolling through, and I found Enter Sandman live version at Virginia Tech Stadium. That's how I started it off. I found some kick-ass USA commercials and then watched a little, I don't know what they did. I guess they put together a little string of some miracle moments out there before I watched that Team USA hockey game. And they cashed for us. So we got Team USA minus 3.5. That was the first play I gave out for the Olympics, if you guys will recall. Like before, was it Monday? Monday minus 140. It settled around minus 155, minus 160. It did dip this morning down to minus 140 again before it popped back up to minus 165, $1.65. What's going on with this blue screen background here today? What's the deal? Why are we glitching? Why are we glitchy? See if that makes a difference. And we've been on a fire today. We've been betting all day. Soccer sucked. I lost Barcelona and Arsenal. I was watching them and I was like, man, why did I bet these games here? I'd rather be betting on hockey, which we did. We cashed the France under 4.5. That was a free play I gave out overnight tonight. Under 5.5, rather. It was a 4-0 final. Team USA cashes 3.5, minus 3.5. Germany and Denmark. I had the over 5.5. It was a letdown. It was 3-1. They changed goalies. Merzlikins comes out after the second period, and Silovs goes in for the third period, and everybody just kind of quit playing. Kind of disappointing. So that did not cash. So listen, if I can go 3-1 in Olympic hockey, I'll take it. Now, some of you guys had asked for player props for hockey. And I said, okay. And I said, you can find them as part of the free package over at Winnable. Now, I gave out 2 goal scoring props. Did anybody tail? That's what I want to know. Did anybody tail? Because we went 2-0. 2-0 in U.S. and Germany goal scoring props. Stützle scores 2 goals for Team Germany. 3 goals scored. The guy had 2. And Rage, I'm calling him Rage Thompson, Buffalo Sabre extraordinaire, nets a power play goal. Both those were plus 175s, give or take, depending on where the book was, but good money for those spots. So, look, not only that, but over on Winnable, cashed a tennis parlay. FAA and Bublik cashed for us as well. I do have what do I have? Let's see what I have. I've got some tennis action for you guys as well. It's slim pickings, but nobody picks them better than us when it is slim pickings. So I'm very excited for this evening's card. Let me just see Just trying to see. Yep. And cash the other tennis spot I gave out today, too. Dardarian Baez in Buenos Aires. Little Buenos Aires action here today. So 2-0 on men's tennis today. Rotterdam and Buenos Aires. Now, I do have, as I mentioned, a play for you guys here. I'll tell you what, this one's going to start in about 2 minutes. Mariano Nivun, I don't know. Don't have to say it to play it, but Camilo Carabelli is the dog in this matchup at Buenos Aires. Buenos Aires has been good to us. Now, if you don't want to play Mariano Nivon straight up, then parlay him. Ow. Sometimes I sit there and I wonder, did I bite the side of my tongue? And you can parlay him with Tommy Paul. Tommy Paul is the last leg of a parlay that I have as well. So while you missed the first part with Shapovalov, Tommy Paul is still out there. So you can parlay Tommy Paul and Mariano. Now, Tommy Paul's at ATP Dallas. You can parlay Tommy Paul, ATP Dallas, with Mariano Navone at ATP Buenos Aires. And that'll get you a plus 112. So now you know. Now you got some tennis action to pop the top on the shop here to kick this show off, you guys. Fired the fuck up, am I here? That was exciting. And man, some downhill snowboarding, some snowboard racing. They got such great Winter Olympic events, man. Who wants to watch that bullshit track and field where they're hopping hurdles around? I mean, some of those girls playing beach volleyball is a different story, but what a fun day. What a fun day already getting to the pay. I just mad at myself for popping. That's what happens. Idle mind is the devil's playground, because then I'm just sitting there. I'm like, oh, there's 2 soccer games that are going to start. And then I started looking and then I liked Arsenal. It's traditional soccer. They score 1 goal. The other team scores a goal 10 minutes later, and that's it. They park the bus. It's a 1-1. They both take a point, and they're both happy with mediocrity. So I can't help that. But I'm excited for you guys to join us here tonight. Get involved in the action. No free plays today. I had myself a doctor's appointment earlier today, so I was out and about early instead of capping early. But there's 3 games in the NBA, and I've got plays on 2 of them. The Bucks and the Thunder, the Blazers and the Jazz will be the action that we're going to get in. I've got an unbeaten trend, and the public ain't going to like it. Then we're going to move into college hoops, and I've got 5 plays for you guys on the college hoop side of things. We'll talk Middle Tennessee and Kennesaw. We'll talk Youngstown State and Oakland. That's a zigzag spot. We got a total on one, then the opposite total on the other. Then we got Marist and Merrimack for a little action. Then we got Long Island, the Sharks and Wagner, before we finish it off with St. Tommy and Omaha. St. Thomas and Omaha to bring us home. That's the way we're going to do it tonight, you guys. And we're going to keep a brisk pace while we do it that way, because I got shit to do. Later card. That means I get busy. Now, as far as golf is concerned, just recap what's going on over here on the PGA side of things. Oh, I don't have J-Day. I don't know how J-Day's on my shit list. You guys, if I ever say Jason Day's name again, just remind me that guy's on my shit list. Players to win this tournament. Justin Rose. He's currently in 39th place. I'm sorry, 50th place. 2 under for Justin Rose. Viable option. Siwoo Kim was sitting in 2nd place. He was tied for 1st today at one point. I put a tweet out there. I said, man, the portfolio's grown. It was like 50% growth. Tommy Fleetwood as well are -5. So 2 players that are looking decent chances to win the event here. Tommy Fleetwood and Siwoo Kim. Now, I don't know. I did take a shot with a 1st-round leader, and I was going to try to cash it out because I don't know if Kalshi's just behind. They might be. See, they're not offering me a cash out. Wyndham Clark. I mean, Wyndham Clark's buried in the middle. I added him as a first round leader. I've got Maverick McNeely and I added Wyndham Clark as first round leaders. But yeah, whatever. We'll see. We're pulling around with it. We're trying to get after it, you guys. Thank you for being here while we go through this action. Let's talk some hockey. But before we do, let's give you guys an opportunity to show some love, show some support. You guys are seeing Winnable, getting those plays out there for you guys. And listen, promo code now, NY2026. If you haven't done it yet, get a 3-month, a 6-month, or join me for the full year. 70 cents a day is where it starts. Quarterly package is 70 cents a day. 6-month package is like 62 cents a day. And I think the year package was like 58 cents a day. And listen, I take my subscribers very seriously. Try to put the plays out before you get them here. I try to put them out exclusives over there. So cap the card, but sometimes there's trends that bust through the page and those become winnable privates. Those are those that supporting me. I want to give you guys a little something extra. And on top of that, it is dirt fucking cheap. And I reference this because I saw one of them big box stores today. One of them big box stores today. One of them big companies there that's got rich sponsors and mommy and daddy money. You can get their capper. I can't believe this is even a thing. 7 days for $100. Are you fucking kidding me? They're not even that good. I will not mention names, but I will tell you this. For $100, you can get on board for almost a year. And we're going to kick some ass and take some names. So we're just heating up here. I'm excited for the second half of the NHL season. I'm excited for the NBA to finally be on a fucking break. Man, the NBA's got more. The NBA, to me, you ever dated a 5 and she acts like a 10? You know what I'm saying? Like, you know, maybe you call it the slump buster. Maybe it was the, you know, you're in between pieces and your buddy's like, I got a friend. That's my girlfriend's friend, whatever, right? It's not that good looking, but, you know, she's okay to hang out with and you get to smash, right? But she's high maintenance. She needs fucking sprouts on her Brussels sandwich from Panera, right? She can only have, tap beers from, you give her a beer in a can, she's going to throw it back in your face, right? That's what I'm talking about. I was thinking about the sprouts on the sandwich girl. That girl was hot, though, in all fairness. She was definitely a smoke show, but she's still high maintenance. And that high maintenance effect just makes it sometimes just not worth your time, right? And that's how I feel about the NBA. We got load management. We got the NBA has more fucking exceptions to when you can play these guys or not, that it's just stupid, right? I mean, I can't be the only one that thinks this way. Come on. We got trade deadline. We got load management. We got players in fights. We're not sure if they're going to get suspended or not. We've got the All-Star break, and they don't play going into the All-Star. When the fuck do these guys play? Do they play a 40-game season? And if they do, I was talking to my guy Shark about this last night. I think we were talking about it. Well, then it's never going to change until the networks come in there and say, fuck you. Enough of this. We're paying you for an 82-game. Imagine if you had, let's say your salary is $100K a year, right? I know these guys are making $150 million a year, so it's not even the same scale. But let's say your salary is $50K a week or a year, $100K a year, and your boss wants you to show up to work from Monday through Friday, 8 to 5, right? Now you'd call them on Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. You tell them you're not going to make it. Hey, listen, man, these are. I know I have sick time, but these are just scheduled tight days off. I don't work I like 3-day weekends, so I don't fuck around. If you work half the time, you're going to get fired. You're not going to get an option to say, fuck it, I'll come back and work for the playoffs. There are no playoffs. You're out. So I just think it's this disgusting, shitty mess that they've got. And now I want to talk about Team USA for a minute. 3 things about Team USA. 1, here's what I say to those athletes that have a problem with the USA platform. You're fucking out there representing your country, which happens to be my country. And I saw a great commercial that brought it all home for me. There were some people were on like a subway or something. And there was this girl that was like, some guy was on the subway and the girl's there and she shares her phone and she's like, Hey, you want to watch? And the commercial said, this is the time where we're all rooting for the same team, except for you Canadians, with all respect. You're rooting for your team. But that's what makes it so much fun. So to get on the platform and shit talk America is just disturbing and disgusting. But when I go to phase 2, and I should have wrote the dude's name down. This guy's like, he's my age, 44 years old or something like that. And he's racing in the fucking downhill snowboarding event. Same thing with Lindsey Vonn. Although Lindsey Vonn's got to be, I mean, think about it. That's an Olympian. That thing has to smash like an Olympian. Tell me I'm fucking wrong for thinking that way, but I can't even imagine what the stamina and longevity looks like in that process. That being said, here's the dilemma. Do you guys like seeing 44 and 45-year-old athletes competing for gold medals? Or do you subscribe to the theory that a 16, 17, or 18-year-old who could start their 20-year Olympic career could get a chance and they're taking it away from him? Because that dude in the snowboarding, he shit the bed. He literally finished in 8th in the top 8 positions. And Lindsey Vonn is fucking getting medevaced out in a helicopter. I think she likes riding in helicopters. So I'm curious, you guys, put it in the chat. Do you prefer to see the younger ones get their start, or do you like Chloe Kim? What was she like? You know, she's too young, but she started young out there snowboarding, and you know now she's mid-career. What is this, her 3rd Olympics? Because she got to start when she was a young gal 8 years ago. I don't know. You guys tell me what you think. I'm curious about that process because I am conflicted. Today I went to the doctor, and she's like, decent looking doctor, by the way, new doctor. Not that matters, but she was talking about, well, is there anything that hurts? And I was like, well, the question isn't if there's anything that hurts. It's what hurts more than anything else, right? I had a drunken melee, and I knocked out the joint inside the shoulder, but doesn't mean my hip and my knees don't hurt. So anyhow, if they're my age, I question it. I wonder it. Now, I will say this. Let's talk about some men's hockey. We're going to have to step up on the defense. Going to play some. I mean, look, we're fortunate to be in a shit grouping. So that being said, they look pretty damn good. And Brock Nelson, man, that guy's got a story going. His father and his grandfather were on Olympic teams for USA, won gold medals. His grandfather was like 6 and his father was 23 or something like that. So he wears 29 because he added the two together. He's the oldest guy on the team. That dude was on fucking fire. I was texting MMA Jeff in that first period right before he scored. And I was like, dude, I think the rest of the tournament, Brock Nelson's an auto goal scorer prop. So I'm giving you guys an auto goal scorer prop in Brock Nelson because I think law of averages. He's getting power play time. He's getting top unit time. Dude, if you saw it, he was part of 2 canceled goals for Team USA in that first period. He hits the post for a 3rd. Then he bangs home 2 more. I mean, that dude could have easily had 5 goals in the first half of this game today. So Brock Nelson will be a player I'm going to give you guys to take an eye on, keep a lookout. Defense has got to get better. You're going to play a team like Canada eventually. Everybody wants to see Team USA versus Team Canada, right? Nobody cares about the rest of these fucking squads. So let's be honest. You have to step up your defense because Team Canada looked pretty fucking good at 5-0 today. So shout out to them, boys. Shout out to Macklin Calabrini. That was a fun goal to see out there. Very fun, very exciting. And I think we're going to go live, boys. I don't know if it's going to be Saturday or Sunday. I told you guys I want to do some fun Olympic live stuff here. Valentine's Day is Saturday, so that might get a lot of people in trouble. So maybe we wait till Sunday. And Sunday happens to be at 3:10 p.m. Team USA versus Team Germany. So that sounds like a good game. It needs to be easier to navigate the Olympic schedule. Let's see. Let's take a look here. Sunday, 6 a.m. See, it's a shit situation because you got, is it Czechia? Jesus, what are we doing here? Against Switzerland, 6:10 a.m. I won't be watching that one. My money will be on Switzerland, but I won't be watching that one. Canada and France at 10:40 a.m. I won't be watching that one. My money will be on Canada, but I won't be watching that one. Canada wins the nil. Switzerland wins the nil. There's a parlay for you guys. Denmark and Latvia. Draw. I better write these down. And then 3:10, there's USA and Germany. Clearly the feature spot. But some big events on top of that. So we'll see. We'll see how it plays out. I'll talk with some of the fellas about the scheduling and components. But I did tell you I want to give you some plays for tomorrow in college hockey as well. So let's get to this thing here. How about that? How about we smash that thumbs up button? If you haven't done so, give it a click. We'll get in here. We'll start talking some plays. We'll talk some action for tonight, and we'll get you guys up out of here. How about that? How would that be? Let's go. Okay, let's talk some hockey for tomorrow. Get you guys teed up for some action here. Seeing it pretty clearly early. I mean, listen, getting 2 for 2 in goal scoring props was a little treat. You know, who saw that coming? But I mean, I did clearly. But Sweden and Finland tomorrow. Here's the thing I was thinking about with this, with what I've seen so far. So my first 2-day report here from an NHL or from an Olympic perspective, the rink does have different dimensions than an NHL rink. And I think what that's doing is it's affording the teams that have the better talent to outshoot the other teams. So shots on goal props, specifically in the second period number 2. Now it's okay if you want to get involved with period number 1. But what I saw with this USA and Latvia game here is Merzlikins got gassed. There was like a 6-minute stretch. Think about that. A quarter of the second period, the 2 defenders were stuck on the ice, and it just gassed out Merzlikins. So because of the dimensions and the difference in the ice, I think shots on goal props, you got to give them a look. And I don't know how stringent, I should say, the books will be about grading those shots on goal props. So not mad at anybody that wants to get involved in those. I would say this, if a player scores, he's probably scoring 2. I've said that to you guys time and again, but it just seems like the lines and the chemistry are set up. I like the spots, players that I look for. Man, I mean, it wasn't fun watching the Hughes brothers. Wasn't it fun watching the Tkachuk brothers? And by the way, weren't they both successful? If you missed out on the Tommy Paul, Navone parlay, it's now minus 118. So anyhow, tomorrow's action, Sweden and Finland. I like the over. I like goals being scored in Sweden and Finland. I think each of those teams can put up a 3-pack. And I would consider getting involved in team total overs in that spot. Slovakia and Italy. I like the under. I said it before, I thought Italy would get shut out yesterday. Both teams have scored no. Should have been that way. They scored 2 goals early. That first goal was disgusting. Goalie didn't have a fucking stick in his hands. So I kind of lean to the under in that spot there. We'll see if I get the official pull on that one. But I do like Sweden, Finland over. And I think it just correlates to the size of the rink and the ability for shots on goal. Czech Republic against France. You got to lay the 3.5. Probably France to get 0 goals. France, what does that pay? Let's take a look. Game props to win in a shutout. Czech Republic, 310. There you go. And last but not least, Canada, Switzerland, boys. Woo! Stay tuned. I mean, listen, the easy spot is to say take Canada minus 2.5, but why not figure out a same game parlay with some goal scoring opportunities and some totals in there as well. So that's going to be the way I like the Olympics for you guys that are paying attention. I'll have some free player props out there as well. That was successful today. So anytime you go 2 for 2, you got to run it back. Let's get to it, you guys. Appreciate you being patient with me. I've given you guys some tennis plays. I've given you some Olympic plays out there already to start the game here. We've got, 6 plays deep. Blake M is here, ready to go. Andrew K says, Knicks making moves, trying to get out there. I told you guys, Pistons and Spurs for the NBA championship, but I think it'll be Knicks and Pistons in the Eastern Conference Finals. Nicholas Handy's in the house. M the Great. There's Bo Jackson. AJ's here. Caden Cowart. What up, Caden? Say, man, is Sharky on today? Okay, today. I tailed. I don't know. I haven't talked to him today. He's taking some time. You know what happens, man. My dude's invested in the NBA, and they're down to 3 days, 3 guys today, 3 games, and then they're off. I mean, if you're an NBA capper, and that's all you, not that that's all he caps, but for this time of year, that's what he caps. What do you even do? You start would you cap the All-Star game? I guess you'd have to cap the All-Star game, right? I don't know. Peter Gracia is here. The solutions in the house. 9 Legacy. Here we go. The paid in full parlay coming into you guys. Coming in hot. Oakland, Merrimack, Bill and Bitch, Bill and Mary, St. Thomas all on the spread. Best bet St. Thomas -3.5 and Portland State -7.5 out there. Andrew Case's cool drone shots. Nasty motherfucking Nate. There he is. He says the Celtics smashed and the second quarter smashed. Shout out to Nasty Nate. I saw it. The Bulls, man, they were just, woo. Bo Jackson's Thunder money line, Jazz money line. I like it. AOD's here. Says Professor Mike. Shout out to you, AOD. Stop Geoengineer in the house. Let's go. Let's get that cash solution. Stop Geo says, shout out to Scumlord, Pimp Slap, POD. Always thank you for your time and effort on these live shows. Appreciate you, man. Appreciate all you guys here ready to roll tonight. Stop Geo says, fuck a job. Nicholas Handy. Got Nuvone first set winner and money line. And Dylan spits hot fire. He says Team Canada wins the cup. Shit talking America is disgusting. We all want to see Canada and USA, don't we? I mean, come on. That doesn't make any sense if it's not. I love when they were interviewing some of the guys before the game today, and they were like, what do you think about this tournament? Or what do you think about representing Team USA? And he's like, are you kidding? He's like, the last Team Canada, 3 fights in the first 10 seconds. He's like, I watched that over and over and over. Oh, that's exciting, man. That was a lot of fun. Andrew Case says, oh, Canada, our home and native land. Dylan does believe the younger, they had their chance. I agree with that. I mean, you'd have to really be a standout, spectacular athlete for me not to want to see somebody younger cycle in there at some point. Like when you're in your 40s, you are taking a spot from somebody in their 20s, right? I mean, yeah, you might have earned it, but you never know. You never know. That's what I thought, Dylan. Doctor. 9 Legacy, if you do 15 to 20 years in sports, get the fuck out of the way and let the youngers get their shot. That is my philosophy, and I would never change that shit. I agree. This ain't like, hockey or football or basketball where you acquire like a veteran athlete to change the locker room around. Like a lot of this is me-centric. Even if they're in a team sport, you still got to play a me element to this thing. So, we'll see. We'll see how that evolves here. Dylan says him and Leon Draisaitl and Tim Stützle had 5 going into this and got another. Valentine's Day. Dylan wants to stream some hockey. All right, Dylan, I got you. Let's go. Appreciate all you guys here. Nicholas Handy says Mika anytime goal. Dylan's got his both second period overs cashed, and they're giving up more record-wise than the NHL. They aren't as tight at all. And he wants to fade France. ZC parlayed this goal. Nice, dude. Nice. Me too. I played them both straight and then I parlayed them. So that was a nice hit, dude. That was a nice hit. Dylan says, yes, Canada and USA. We'll get there. It's going to have to play itself out a little bit, but we'll get there. All right, you guys. Thank you again all for being here. Light Sports Week here. The community, the peeps, if you will. They're hiding. They didn't realize that there's still sports on, despite the fact that Super Bowl is over. Portland Trail Blazers and Utah Jazz. Where did I fuck this up? There's two. So I was looking at that. I'm like, wait a minute. That ain't right. The Milwaukee Bucks and the OKC Thunder will be the feature spot of the day in the NBA. Listen, a lot of people looking at this spread saying they're going to bust them up. They're going to beat them down. They're going to blow them out. I still think that, so remember what I said yesterday, take a giant step back and literally your own face. You guys know what that's from? I said yesterday, the last game going into All-Star break, almost 61% of the overs. So bear that in mind as we look at this game here. But you're OKC, and you're just blatantly disrespecting this Milwaukee Bucks team with a 13.5. There's no SGA, Jalen Williams, Hartenstein, AJ Mitchell. That's your top 4 producers on the OKC side of things here. So what are we talking about? Cam Thomas puts 34 points on the board on Wednesday. Bucks are healthy. Giannis ain't going anywhere. Thunder missing key pieces. I mean, there's a couple ways I would play this. One, I'm taking the Bucks. Sharp Respected Betting report came in as well. They jumped in on the Milwaukee Bucks. We know about the below 500 team off a road game. The shit team off a road game, 49-31. That's the Bucks. That trend is only 5-5 in its recency. So we got to keep that in mind here. But I think we got two things going on. One, this is too many points. Two, if you're looking for a now this is if you really got to play the NBA, because I strongly suggest you take a step back and think about just slimming it down today. But Carabelli gets a break on our guy. Anyhow, the other way I would think about playing this is the margin or the bands or whatever it is that your book calls them here. And I would look for the Bucks. I'm sorry, the Thunder. I'm on the Bucks. I got 11.5 points. I thought that was plenty good here to get the job done. But if you look at some banding, you could actually play both of these and still come out ahead, because if you go to, is it game props? Let me look. Let me find it. No. Wait, way to put myself in the shit position on the fly. No. All right. Well, my point was this. Look for the player banding. Look for the margin of victory banding. BAND, banding. Margin of victory. Look for it to be under 10 points. Those are going to be plus money swings. So you could break a unit up into two and expect that the Thunder don't go out there and just steamroll the Milwaukee Bucks. And it's for the reasons that I mentioned. I mean, look, we're talking about everybody being hurt. Where's your depth? Where's it coming from that I'm not seeing? I guess is what my question is about this game. And I don't want to miss it. I don't want to overlook it, but here we go. Winning margin. So OKC Thunder win 1-2 is plus 2,000, 3-6, 750, 7-9, 700. Right there, I would tag those two. Throw a quarter unit on each of them to win by 3-6, to win by 7-9. Plus 750, plus 700. I don't think the OKC Thunder cover the spread in this game here, and that's why I like the 11.5. And if I like 11.5 and it's going to stay under double digits, then I got to look at OKC Thunder plus 750 and plus 700 is a big score. We like to take them big swings here, but it has to make calculated sense. What's up, Pachico de Gallo in the house? Appreciate you being here, my friend. So that's game one. And game two, this is the one that no one's going to like, because the Jazz are blatantly tanking. That's my everybody else voice. That's my public voice. The Jazz, they're pulling players in the fourth quarter. They're publicly tanking. Well, all right, fucko. They won back-to-back games. So where are we seeing that hot take? Because I'm not seeing it. In fact, the Sacramento Kings, they busted them in the mouth. 121-93. They put up 115 points on Miami. They put up 117 against Orlando, 119 against Atlanta, 131 against the Pacers. These are all road games, by the way. So where is it that they're tanking? I get their defense sucks, but that's kind of more of the design of the team. Now, that's not to say that they won't shit the bed tonight. Certainly don't want to mislead anybody in that process. But let's talk about the Blazers. Are the Blazers a tank team? They're on the road. We know they play better at home. They're 10-16. They're fourth in the Northwest Division. They went through their stretch, but the teams that they beat were Memphis, double back-to-back spots against Memphis, Again, scoring points, 135, 122, 135 against the Sixers. Kind of figured that Sixers spot was going to be a difficult one. They took a loss at Minnesota. Nobody loses at Minnesota. They lost 133, 109. So you just want to auto roll the Trailblazers because you think the Utah Jazz are openly fading? I mean, Julius Randle had 41 points. So the Timberwolves put him down, but and I don't know that there's anybody on the Jazz that are going to pull that process here, but I know this. When the Trailblazers are on the road against divisional opponents, doesn't happen often. They happen to be part of a strong division. We talked about their home strength, but the Trailblazers, road favorites, divisional opponents, past 4 years. Is that a good enough sample for you guys? 0-9. Be them Trailblazers. 0-9. So, this narrative about the Jazz in Tankathon, let me ask you this. Let's put the conspiracy hat on for a minute. With 3 games on the docket tonight, you think the NBA is going to just with gambling and fixing on a rise right now, you think the NBA is just going to let the Jazz go out there and publicly choke, hit the bed and shut everything down? Stop it. I say stop it. It's ridiculous. That's a ridiculous take. And it's a lazy take. It's funny. I was talking to my buddy today about the Super Bowl, and he's like, they played a shit schedule. And I was laughing because he's not a big sports bettor, but even he was talking about the narrative of the shit schedule. And I said, dude, everybody was talking about how sloppy and lazy and overplayed that narrative is, but it's like you play a team that's number 1 or number 2 in DVOA that played a tough strength of schedule, and you got fucking rolled off the tracks. In fact, when you played a comparable defense to the Seahawks in Denver, you got shut down. So they would have lost that game if Denver had their quarterback in there and not Stidham. So, anyhow, I don't know how I start talking about the Super Bowl, but it was that lazy cap. The lazy cap is what it was. The Jazz are openly tanking. Show me where that shows you in the numbers with back-to-back outright wins as dogs. Come on, stop it. Let's move on to college sports. What do you guys say about that? We'll keep her moving. Keep a brisk pace here. I appreciate you guys being in here. I know there's a lot going on this time of year. Lots of places you could be. You could be anywhere else. But you're here with me. That matters a lot to me. So I want to give you guys some plays, some action. We've covered a bunch of stuff here tonight. I'll give you some player props too. You want some player props? Let me fucking fire through the old makeup machine here. I'm laughing because I was looking at that Lakers Dallas game. Like, you want to bet on first of all, you want to bet on the Lakers as a favorite, especially 6.5, 7 points. No Luka. But then you look at Dallas. Dallas got no Cooper Flag. I'll tell you what I like. So LeBron James, no Cooper Flag, no Luka. Austin Reeves comes back in this game, right? Well, he's been back. I don't mean it as in this game, but I like some under stuff for this guy tonight. And here's the thought process. It's the last game before the All-Star break. We know these games tend to go over. And without Cooper Flag, the Lakers should be smoking these dudes, right? You with me so far? I haven't said anything that's too egregious or outrageous, right? No hot takes in that process. Now, add to it, if you're blowing him out and you got a guy that's coming back and conditioning himself from injury, not talking about his ability to re-aggravate the injury, just saying in general, you put him on a minutes count. I like Austin Reeves. I like his under 2.5 3-pointers made tonight. He's been under this number in 3 of his last 4 games. He's gone under 7 of his last 8 games, going back to before his injury on top of that. So with all of those aforementioned reasons here, let's see what we can get this price tag at. Spend a few more minutes in the player, but we've been doing well with player props. No reason we can't try to get some cash out of this fucker. You know what I mean? Like maybe the Lakers and his under 2.5, 3. I mean, my one buddy texted me about a LeBron triple-double. He said, he ain't triple-double and shit. That's a reasonable number. You can get a minus 120 at BetMGM. You can get a minus 130. A minus 135 is the consensus number out there for Austin Reeves under 2.5 threes. We'll give that one out as an official play as well. Matter of fact, let's get back to what we do well. Oh, man. Navone's getting busted up, huh? Ugh. Everything was going so well until I added that fucker. All right, let's take a look here. Let's look at the NBA. Let's look at the Lakers money line. Let's see if we can make an official play out of this. Player threes. Yeah, plus 148 on DraftKings. Okay, DraftKings, you got me. Make that an official play too. There we go. We're laughing because I'm laughing because I'm taking the Lakers, but I'm taking them on the money line with under 2.5 threes for Austin Reeves. Let him go out there and fucking rain down thunder. I don't care. I do care. I mean, don't get me wrong. Here's some other player props for you guys. I'll just rapid fire these guys real quick for you. Sensible over 19.5 points in that Jazz and Trailblazers game. I think that's a spot that we see points, and more points. Those two teams should be running the totals. They should be running fast pace. They ain't going to play no defense. Neither one of those teams plays defense anyways. The Jazz are going to be without Jaren Jackson. Knee surgery. Won't see him. Lauri Markkanen, Keontae George. I mean, I guess that's why you could say that they're in trouble. I just don't want to buy into the Portland business because I got a fade spot on Portland. So anyhow, Sensible is the guy over 19.5 points. Let's see what that price tag looks like. When there's less sports, I feel like I can just free fire with you guys here, you know? Over 18.5 points is minus 125 for Sensible. This might be a parlay option for you guys too here. OKC Thunder and the Milwaukee Bucks. Aaron Wiggins. Got to look at Aaron Wiggins out there, especially with the caveat of players missing here. SGA, Jalen Williams, AJ Mitchell. And so Aaron Wiggins is the next man up. It's literally, he's hit the number over 2 of his last 3 games without SGA in it. So Aaron Wiggins over 16.5 points. Let's take a look at what that price tag is. I'm opening up the old Rolodex for you guys here. The Rolodex of plays that I typically go through these, and I start to crunch them down a little bit more here. Wiggins over 16.5 is minus 105. 105. And I thought I had one more written down. Yeah, of course. Gotta go back to Isaiah Joe as well. Look at Isaiah Joe. Same deal. Over 13.5 points. He's gone over in 3 straight games with SGA out of the lineup as well. So I'm trying to pick on some of these spots where I think the player props make sense because of their numbers showing consistency with the players out. And he's shooting a shit ton of threes. So let's take a look at Isaiah Joe. He might be a little same game proper. Let's take a look at his threes. 3 points made. Over 3.5. I mean, this could be a ladder play. Over 3.5 plus 120. He's shooting 10 plus times a game. So what are his points doing here? Let's take a look at his points. 13.5 is minus 110, minus 105. I might pick one or the other. But there you go. There's some player props for you guys in the NBA as well. Isaiah Joe, Bo Jackson says it. Jag says, Mike, gambling is fun. It sure is, dude. Sure is. Dana Delps here says Oakland minus 4.5. Let me give you guys some college hoops, and then let's get the fuck up out of here. You ain't got to go home. But you can't stay here. I mean, you can stay here. If you want to be in the chat, chat it up. I looked at this first game with Middle Tennessee and Kennesaw State, and I'll tell you this. I've been running an under system for Middle Tennessee State, and it's pretty simple. It just comes down to when they're out of form and they make the total too high, they can't achieve the form. And it's been successful, meaning if they're off a loss and the total's over 136, the under is 84-42. I mean, it's 2-1. And that goes back years. So that's not just like an anomaly right now. It has lost its last game in that spot for the trend, but it is 7-3 over the last 10. So, Carabelli's busting this dude up, huh? The only sport worse than in line movement. I could almost make my own fucking Steam sheet. Before I go to bed, screenshot the lines for tennis, soccer, and Olympic hockey. Even all the Olympics. It seems like a lot of screenshots now that I say it out loud. And then when I wake up, see where they moved. Highlight the ones that moved. Well, why don't I do that since I got a little time with fewer sports in there? We'll give it a try and see what that does. We'll call it the sports money steamer, sports money steam sheet. Sports money. No, Ramon's got the morning steam. Let's see. Sports money. I guess call it Sharp. I can't call it Sharp Perspective Betting Report. I got to work on the name. Shout out to Ramon Scott, Stonehill, Chicago State, under 32.5 fans in attendance. That sounds like a Kalshi bet, Ramon Scott. Pop open Kalshi. Gosh, it starts soon, huh? No, there's no paid fans. I guess can't bet on everything, can you? All right, let me fire off a couple of these. So I got the under for you. The hot sheet, says Chicago Joe. All right, I like that. Sounds a little bit like the hot seat. MMA Jeff likes to call the. Well, but I give out all the secrets. I'll let him tell that to you guys. Youngstown State and Oakland is the next game that I've got for you guys here. Just keeping it moving. Obviously, we're firing around a whole bunch of plays here. I'm looking at the over in this game. It's another one of them systems where it's an Oakland over system, and it's been lucrative here. I should have looked at the splits. My bad. But this one starts at 7 p.m., so I don't want you to miss it. Oakland going against the home conference, 92-41 to the over. They've gone 9-1 in their last 10. It's 135 games in the sample. I mean, what do you want? Like the stolen cars, COD, the hot sheet. I like that. All right. Gosh, if it starts working, though, then I'm going to have to start doing it all the time. That's my trepidation around this whole process here. Let me talk about this 7 p.m. real quick here. Even shit night tonight with mid-major basketball, there's still so many games that it takes forever to scroll. I like Hofstra a lot. Hofstra was a first cut for me, just so you guys are all on the same page as I am here. I like Hofstra a whole lot. Dina from Hofstra. This is Dina. She had such a nasally way that she said it too. This is Gina from Hofstra. Like, it was past College World too, so it was weird to. It's a whole different story. I like Monmouth over Drexel as well. That was a first cut for me. And Stonehill. Sharp Perspective Betting action came in today, and it was on Stonehill. 60% of the bets, 52% of the cash on Chicago State. Chicago State just had a big game. It's a great fade spot for Chicago State. As far as the total, this line went from 157.5 down to 155.5 in that Youngstown State game, and it had 71% of the bets and 71% of the cash on the over. So beware, be cognizant of that as you're looking at this game, but that is still a spot that I jumped in on. Let's see what we got here. I'm going to do that tonight. Merrimack and Marist. Fucking weird. It's weird that I ended up having wasn't really a dream, but I've seen Marist like 6 times today. You got to have your channels, you got to have your receptors open to recognize what the hell's going on. So I like Merrimack. And I thought when you're looking at this spot here, I mean, look, Merrimack's kind of becoming the class of the conference here. They've won 4 in a row. They're 14-6. But Marist coming off that loss, it should be a bounce back opportunity. Where I fired in on is the under. And this is another system play. When the totals in Merrimack are over 121.5, it's 107.52 to the under. Goes back the last 6 years of playing, current coaching system and format, 7-3 in the last 10 in those spots out there. So it's a low number. It's 129.5. Right? Yep. But I like the under in that play. And let's keep it moving. I got two more for you guys here. LIU and Wagner. Every time I see Wagner now, I think Wagner. Did you guys see that BMW commercial where the girl's in the car and he's like, "You like BMWs?" And then she pops the window down and she's German. German women are gorgeous. And she starts spitting at him in German that it's not BMW, it's BMV. Anyhow, if you haven't seen that one, let's go in. Another system spot for you guys here. Wagner, their unders off a loss, 54-21. Got to look at that. Sharp Respected Betting came in as well, and they fired on the LIU Sharks in the under in that spot. So I like that opportunity for an under. Like I said, totals have been something I've been a little wary with here, but I'm still going to fire on them tonight as we look at this last game in St. Thomas and Omaha. Those John Gruden spots from the commercials have been fucking great too. I don't think it's commercials. I think it's trending. Do you see the one where the guy's in the Super Bowl and he's like, Gruden, it's like, red shovel, 42 red, on right. And he's like, go. And he's like, box 72, kill 45-1. Watch the pressure. It's a great one if you haven't seen that one. So they go back and forth for a good 45 seconds. And then Gruden's like, I like you. So the guy gives him one more and Gruden's like, you got to watch the D. Good commercial. It wasn't even a commercial. It was I should probably start reposting some of those. I don't really do that a lot. I like Southern Missouri. Southern Missouri just missed the cut for me against USA. I like the money line on that spot. Just kind of rapid firing some shots for you guys here. And then St. Thomas. I got to look at the Tommies. In this conference, the better teams tend to roll in the second half of the season. That be the Tommies. Tommies, rather. Wagons. I think they go out there and they fire tonight. Yeah, so last play I had for you guys. The St. Thomas Tommies. I laid 4.5 on the Tommies. So that's going to do it. Covered a lot of action. Covered a lot of bets. We got it in before 6 o'clock. I don't know. I hope you guys like that. Hopefully it's a bunch of winners for us tonight. But you got some extra plays in there that I wasn't planning on coming into the show with. So let's see what we can do. Let's see if we can make some money. Keep cashing some tickets. I gave you guys Olympic hockey for tomorrow. I gave you guys some tennis that we're taking it on the chin right now. I'm going to have to circle back and regroup on that one. I gave you guys college basketball. I gave you NBA. I gave you player props. I added a parlay with the with the Austin Reeves under 2.5 threes and the Lakers money line. Talked about some golf on top of it. We covered a lot of bases here, guys, in this past hour. So I appreciate you guys being here. Thank you all for taking the time out of the day to come check us out here. I'll circle back with my guy Dylon and figure out what we can do for some, I keep saying NHL, Olympic action. And if you haven't gone over and checked out the winnable side yet, make sure you do. Free plays galore. I gave out that under in the France game today in Olympic hockey. Also, both the player prop goal scoring bets at plus 175 were put out there on the free site for winnable as well. So it is winnable.com/Mikey Money. I'll see if I can drop the link here for the chat. If you guys haven't done so already, also, I did owe a shout out and a thank you. Before we put the bow on the show, I want to live up to my word, live up to my end of the bargain, because we did cross over. Well, we got to 100 followers. I did mention if we get to 100 followers, I will personally shout out the 100th follower, and it's Lakers 24. 100 followers, triple digits on the gram. So if you guys haven't gone over to the Instagram side of things here, shamefully today, I was busy with a doctor's appointment. I did not get a chance to put a free play out there. That doesn't mean I won't work on something tonight or tomorrow for you guys, but I will drop the link to Instagram in there as well. We're growing. We're taking off. We're now to 100. It's starting to get worthwhile over there. And I want to thank Lakers24 and all you guys that are members of the Sports Money Network on the Instagram side of things. On behalf of the crew and the squad, tune into Ramon Scott, 9 a.m. tomorrow for the morning steam. And I'll be back 6 p.m. for Pregaming. Talk more sports betting action with you guys. Have a great night. Good luck with your bets.